Yo, what's happening, y'all? It's your man Valentine, baby. Coming to you from on the grind. Man, you know what time it is, man. You see what type of day it is out here. I gotta give it to you outside, man. So, the home edition style, baby. Yep, it's Tuesday. And there's some good news. You know what I mean? Good news, man. You know them two knuckleheads who actually came out in front of their property in the U.S. blazing guns. My man with an M16 and his wife with a Glock. They got charged today or yesterday. So that's a good thing. You know what I mean? And so guess what? You got to keep hope alive, right? And then I heard today that you got to know this is big because the Edmonton Eskimos are no longer the Edmonton Eskimos. They are now going to be Double E or the Edmonton Football Club. That's a positive, man. And so that's a good thing. You feel what I'm saying? So that's something to be hopeful for. You know what I mean? And then but then, we got to go back a little bit. And I have to say that, the Black Lives Matter mural in New York in front of, where, Trump Towers or wherever, and it's Trump Towers. Somebody defaced it again, poured paint on it, and messed it all up when they've commissioned it to be painted there. So, and old boy don't like it. Black Lives Matter, man. And why you want that in front of his building? He doesn't. So, I don't know. I don't see the big deal in this mural being there. But that's just me. And I don't know. I can't say I want to get into that with this the wearing of a mask. People, I have to say, wearing a mask is going to keep you safe. And for all the people who are marching about the non-wearing of a mask, I don't understand if you're thinking clearly or you don't have any family, because it is just something it's going to save lives. So I can't understand why people are marching about it and arguing and fighting with people about wearing a mask. It's unbelievable to me. It saves lives. And it's going to save your family's life. So y'all got to get it together, man, and stop being stupid. So I don't know. And then we see what's happening in Portland, because things are still happening. People are still marching. There's people marching all over the U.S., man. They've been marching now for, I think, 54 days in Portland. And we don't know what's going to come of it, but you've got to keep marching. The key is never to give up, right? And the fact that I think Trump is putting in special police to do some damage or whatever it is, and they've gotten people who are police who are undercover or something, and special forces that are being deployed in Portland, which is crazy. The mayors don't want it, but this is what's happening. So, people, if you're still marching, keep it up. Remember, though, we're still going through a pandemic. So everyone who's marching or whatever they're doing, Make sure you wear your mask and try to social distance. And also remember why you marching. You feel me? So don't forget the reason why you marching. And I got to go with, because I know the weekend we lost a hero in John Lewis, and this man gave a voice to everyone who was marching. Man, he was the voice of freedom. You know what I mean? And like I said, this man never gave up. You know, never gave up. So I don't want anyone else to give up. And John Lewis, in his voice, said, you know, don't ever be weary. You know what I mean? And be hopeful. And then his last words, man, was to never, ever give up. So that is the key. You can't give up while you're marching. And the fact that we have to march and to basically eradicate the systemic racism, the institutionalized racism, the police brutality, the police profiling, social profiling. You feel me? So there is no way that we can actually stop marching. In order for things to happen, people, you gotta keep going. And I know that right now it doesn't seem like things are happening, but you've got to believe that behind the scenes things are being done. You know what I mean? So do not think, or do not all of a sudden say, oh, you know what? Nothing's happening, man, so I don't have to do anything. This is not the time for y'all to sit down and be silent. You feel me? Because this man, John Lewis, and I say this man didn't get his head cracked open in the early, 60s, in the civil rights movement, going across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, for us to think right now that everything is not going the way we're supposed to be going. And you cannot be silent now. So just because you don't see it being covered on TV right now, except in the US, do not be silent. You know what I mean? You've got to stand up. You've got to make your voices being heard. You know what I mean? Be a John Lewis, man. That's what we got to do. We've got to become John Lewis. And anyone else who's out there in the marches. Because as he says, you cannot give up. There's no time to give up right now. You feel me? So I'm imploring y'all to make sure you continue marching, continue speaking up. If you see somebody saying something or doing something, make sure you speak up, because silence is not an option. You know what I mean? And right now, hey, black folks, indigenous folks who are out there suffering right now at the hands of the police, at the hands of the institutions, the socio-economic disparities that are out there. You know what I mean? They need you to speak up for them. They need a voice. You know what I mean? Because black folks cannot be the only ones who are speaking up. And right now, with all the marches that's going on, you see a lot of shades. And that's good. And that's what you want. So people, take it from John Lewis. John Lewis says, never give up. Never be worried. Be weary. You know what I mean? And be hopeful. So continue to make your voices being heard. This is what will eradicate systemic racism, police profiling, police brutality, the institutionalized racism. You feel me? And now remember, we are still going through a pandemic. And young people that are out there right now, you need to understand, you guys are going to be spreading this virus around. You know what I mean? So you have to now be careful. You have to wear a mask. Wash your hands, social distance. And remember, you are not invincible. And this is not a selfish thing that you can do, because this doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone in your family. So save your family and yourself by doing the right thing. Wearing a mask, wash your hands, social distance. That's what we want you to do, to stay safe. You feel what I'm saying? Yo, you know what time it is, man. I'm your man Valentine, baby. And if you think it's your time to shine, you need to get on the ground with your man Valentine. Remember, in the voice of John Lewis, never give up.